A question I get asked every day is, how much money should I be putting into Facebook for ads? And I can't answer that. It all depends on how big an audience you're trying to target and the geographic location. For example, I've got a small local business that is doing really well on $200 for the whole month, but I'm also working with an international client that's spending over $100,000 and still not quite achieving what they want to achieve because their audience is so huge and the geographic location they're trying to target is so big that that $100,000 is not actually enough to achieve their goals. So for you, I don't want you to be asking how much money should I be putting into Facebook ads. I want you to be asking the question, the money that I am putting into Facebook, how do I best manage that? And, start small, and as things are working for you, then increase your budget accordingly. But how do you split that budget up? So for easy maths, I'm going to work on, say, $100 a day. Now, you've got to remember that the whole point of what we're doing is to bring a cold audience into your funnel. So remember, your funnel looks like this. You have your cold audience at the top of funnel. So this is your cold audience. And it's a really big audience. There's a lot of people you're trying to reach to bring into your funnel. Once they've made contact with you, they become part of your warm audience, and this is your warm audience over here. It is a much smaller audience than this one here. And then finally from there to your conversion down here. This is a tiny audience when you're looking at comparison to the audiences above it. And that's how you should be splitting up your ad budget. Now, when we're talking about your top of funnel budget, I'm not only talking about Facebook ads. If you're running Google AdWords or you're running some other sort of campaign that is bringing people onto your website, then all you need to be doing is looking at your retargeting campaigns and a tiny bit of budget at your top of funnel. So if you're spending, say, $1,000 a day on Google AdWords, and concentrate on just your retargeting campaigns and your conversion campaigns. Don't worry about the ad spend that's going to be going to top of funnel Facebook. You've got other ways of bringing people in. Maybe just have a small amount just to make sure that we're covering all bases. So let's just assume that we're working on Facebook only here. What I'm going to do is take my $100 and I'm going to split that between these campaigns. But what I'm going to do is probably put about 70%, about $70 of my 100 up at the top of funnel. So that $70 is bringing people into my funnel, talking to a cold audience. You have a massive cold audience and bringing them into the funnel. So about 70% is going up there. That remaining 30%, we're going to split between the conversion and this middle of funnel. Now, this middle funnel is actually split into two. The first is trying to keep you talking to your current audience. So it's the posts that are already going on your Facebook page, those engagement posts, talking about new products, keeping people actively interested in your product, not necessarily retargeting, just talking to them and keeping them engaged, keeping you and your product front of mind. So I'm going to split that 30%. I'm going to go and put 15 there, 5 there, and 10 there. 70, 80, 90, yep, just making sure my maths is good. So what I'm meaning by the 15 and 10 split is $15 is going to go towards my engagement campaign. So this one here is going to be going to my engagement, talking to the people who are already engaged with me, keeping them interested and hoping at some point they're going to go back onto my website. If they go back onto my website, they're then going to go into this section. This is my retargeting campaign, my middle of funnel and my bottom of funnel for my retargeting. So up here, this is to a cold audience. This is to my already warm audience. This across here is retargeting. if you can even read that. And this here is for my conversions. Now, obviously at this middle level, if you have more levels or more steps within your funnel, then we're going to need to break this up even further. But this is a general rule of how I would split up my budget if I was given, say, $100 a day and trying to manage that money. I'm going to talk about how we scale things. So my clients that are spending $100,000, I didn't start by spending $100,000 because that would be really silly, spending a lot of money before we even know how ads are working. So we're going to talk about scaling in the next video.